we've done one in-person show, and that was for our 50th episode. And so we all went out to LA and we recorded there. But I mean, when we started it, Isaac was still in Austin, and yeah, Isaac was in Austin. I was in Houston whenever we started it, and then even whenever we brought Mo in, Mo was in Atlanta. So it just has never been a time where like all of us are in the same city.
Yeah, but that's
have y'all had those conversations?
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get to the meat and potatoes.
It's just a matter of
who is pro and against moving into this.
Who's pro moving? Who's like, nah, I'm good where I'm at.
Nah, I'm good where I'm at. Who's that guy? Who's that guy?
Let's break the ice though, just not to put the pressure on y'all. For the last like year and a half.
No,
No.
I don't want
them to feel like they in the hot seat. For the last year and a half, we have been having that exact same conversation, and I will say, there's one super pro. There's one of us who was just like on the fence, like, hey man, I'm with it, I'm not. And there's two like, man, I don't travel like that, and I'm comfortable where I'm at. So we're having it in turmoil as it is, and seeing how y'all do y'all show similar to ours, all on the internet.
Yeah.
Is there a situation where like some of y'all are pro, some of y'all against?
I'll say this.
Really care?
Isaac is 100% the most like pro. Let's move to the same city. We can have a big house, right? The house will be our compound. Like Isaac is very much on that end of the spectrum. I personally like, and we've talked about it, like, I think I'm on kind of, closer towards the other side of the spectrum. I think Mo's like, I think Mo is closer to Isaac, but he definitely like is closer like to the middle though. And so it's kind of like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Like
I think we all want to and know we should. It's just like a matter of life timelines between like relationships, getting out of school, doing all this stuff. That's like, it's hard to find the time to. But like, I appreciate it from day one. Like, you don't understand. If we don't go in person one day, the show's not going to be what it can be. Like, it's so vital for the ceiling of the show to be in person. So I think we all know that it has to happen eventually. It's just like when does it make sense for everybody's life situations?
Here we go.
Let me ask.
Let's hear from
I mean, listen, we're not saying anything
Mojo.
here. We're not saying anything here that we haven't told each other. So like this, like
Same conversation.
talked about this shit last week.
Mojo, how do you feel? Mojo, how do you feel? Just
No, like I'm in the middle. Like I go through. So like literally during the summer, I moved to New York because I'm like, okay, I have an opportunity. I could either move to X location that we talked about for a hot second. Donovan's not feeling it. I just all the way down, and I'm like, I want to do it because I know the potential and the ceiling of it, but at the same time, there's some like real life other things that just aren't taken into account.
Yeah,
when you're talking about like a whole career shift, And so I tried my best to do I tried my best to be half and half, and so I have a plan in the back of my head. Okay, like once my girl graduates school, or a year from now, she's going to be able to travel and do her schoolwork anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, okay, bet. Initially, like a couple months ago, I was like, yo, I said some shit like, I don't know, 2028 or 2029 or something like that.
Hey,
we knew it in person. And then I'm like, then, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay.
Isaac was
y'all gonna be
he does it all the time. Every time I talk about it, he's like, listen, 2026. I'm like, stop fucking talking about 2026.
Yeah, exactly.
Isaac
That's not a real year.
There's some clones on D3
And
right
Mojo
now,
had a similar answer. It was just more so of a money answer instead of a timeline answer. And Omar was like, man, you're not serious for real. Let's
There's
move
some
on.
clones, man.
Wait, can I ask, Isaac, is there situations that arise where you guys are discussing strategy, discussing topics, whatever, and you just sprinkle in like, man, I ain't gonna lie. We wouldn't be dealing with this if we were all in person. Like I just
all the time, every time. I make sure every time.
Every time. Yeah, that's a shadow clone. That's a shadow clone. Yeah, that's shadow clone. Yeah,
I'm not shy about it. I try not to be like annoying and naggy about it, but
no, you
I'm
should.
very, very vocal about like long term. It has to happen. Like I don't want to. Don't forget because it's working remote now. It won't always. And once things slow down, you gotta have that foundation of being in person and like doing it as best as you can. So when it does slow down, you're still good.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's Mojo? You have a girlfriend. Are the either of y'all in a relationship too? Isaac?
Yeah, I have a girlfriend that I live with right now.
Yeah, and I'm engaged right now.
Damn. Okay, y'all got commitments. Okay, that's the aversion.
Me too, by the way.
That's the
you see
aversion.
why it's
Okay.
complicated?
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
I see.
And that's why it's hard. It's a 6-person decision, not just a 3. So like there has to be a lot of stuff involved.
Well, let me.
I'm glad you get it, man. Appreciate it.
Let me help Mojo out real quick. Let me help Mojo
I
out.
got a follow up after that.
Cause really, moving close in proximity, not necessarily in a house. I think a content house is a terrible idea.
Oh yeah, we're not doing that.
I think a singular house is a bad idea. Moving in close proximity is great. So then, what's the city in the discussion that seems to make the most sense?
See, now that is where things are like. I'm
Listen,
like
Isaac has been pushing.
Yeah.
when like the first time we started talking about doing stuff in person. The two cities that we were talking about the most were like New York and LA. And I personally, I hate Los Angeles. I'm not a fan of the city. I can't stand it.
They don't want to be happy. It's crazy.
I don't like it. Every time I go to Los Angeles, it's just you get off the plane and it's weird vibes, man. It just feels the energy is just weird out there.
I like New York's vibe
like
better. I don't know. It's like too laid back in LA. I don't know.
I don't like it. And my dad is from New York, and so I grew up going there a lot, and so I'm much more comfortable going in New York. And as a kid, and even throughout college, I wanted to go to New York and maybe move there. But I think that now it's just it just doesn't make sense. It's just too expensive, and you don't get enough bang for your dollar.
Man, how does everybody got a whole different opinion? This is great. The more this conversation goes, the more y'all gonna be in on some of the inside jokes. That's why we're holding back laughs right now. Now that I'm thinking about it, though, I'm just saying based on where we're located, man. Damo, a part-time Yorker.
Where's everybody at? For you guys, where's everybody at?
I'm in damn near the heart of the DMV right now. I'm not too far from DC.
Okay.
I'm in North Carolina.
I'm in Boston.
And then the Atlanta.
The only right answer to even y'all's dilemma, Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta.
We would never go to Atlanta. Never go to Atlanta.
Round two.
Here we go.
So tell me this. What is the benefit of LA, New York? You talking about hierarchies of the states or the cities. The LA, New York over Atlanta. Make that make sense.
I'll explain every option.
Yeah, you got it.
New York, we where the House of Highlights offices are, so we have those resources there. That'd be one thing. Is we wouldn't have to build our own studio. We could probably get them to do it in their office, in their studio space. So part of the production and budget would be out of our hands. That'd be cool if that ever became a thing. LA, I'm here now. It's where the most creators live to collaborate with, where the whole the industry is out here type shit. And I just live here. So I moved here right when we started talking about it, and I was the first one that moved out. This was before Mo moved to New York. So it was let's all come here. I just got here. It's LA. Why wouldn't you want to be in LA for something like this? But I understand the price thing. And then we thought of other cities. Me and Donovan are from Texas, so we talked about going back to Texas because it's the cheapest place to be. We can get the most bang for our buck. It's a pretty neutral place. Nobody hates being there. But Donovan wants to move because he's been in Texas his whole life, understandably.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with Texas.
And then Donovan and Mo are both East Coast bound for them and their relationships, places where they're going to be after school. So I'm maybe we'll find an East Coast city. There's just a lot of factors that makes it all complicated.
Wait, Donovan, you're in Texas right now.
Yeah, I'm in Houston.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm in Houston. Yeah, and so.
But you want to move.
Yeah, and so I'm, my wedding is next July, and so I'm gonna be here for probably another year and a half, just after getting to the wedding, getting everything set up afterwards. But my fiance and I, we've already had conversations. Both of us, we've been in Texas our whole lives, and so we want to go out and just live in a different city. Actually, Boston's one of the cities that we both like for real, as a place to move. And so it's we just had
great city, man, great city.
Actually, I just went out there at the start of November. I really liked it. I was rocking with it.
I don't got no business in Boston.
Yeah, I ain't going.
It's kind of cool. It's cool.
There, bro.
It's kind of cool. But yeah,
cold. So that's what it is. It's cold. You're
Not in the summer.
Besides, there's a winter though. You know that.
Yeah.
One of the 4 seasons. Come on, bro. Stop it.
If we move to a content house, I am mandating warmish
weather.
winter.
Yeah, that's not.
No,
yeah, come
bro.
on, bro.
No shot.
Content cul-de-sac. Content cul-de-sac.
So what creators in LA are so worthy of noting?
None. No,
Yeah,
there's none.
okay.
None in our
None.
space. I just like that's you know what I mean. Like there's none in
It's
our
your
space
home.
technically.
It's your home. It's your. I get it.
Yeah,
I
and
get it.
and we're a basketball pod. If you want to get athletes on the pod, being in a big city is by far the easiest place to do it. So that's one
100%.
thing. Like, people that, whether it's athletes, if you want to get like, I don't know, comedians that are into the NBA, stuff like that, being in LA or New York makes it way easier.
So House of Highlights is under Turner, right?
Yeah. WBD now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's headquartered out of Atlanta.
One of them, yeah.
And
But the House of
Yeah.
Highlights team is New York based.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just I mean, still, it's in the family. It's in the family.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
pitching
that's
to
where-
y'all. This is how he is with me.
I'm
bro.
not-
This is how he starts.
pitching-
This is how he
This is
starts.
how
I'm
it
not
starts. I need
pitching.
y'all to know
I'm
that.
not
Gotta give
pitching
them
to
cold right now.
anybody. And so then, Shaq and Ernie and the guys, they're down here, and major sports teams, Atlanta.
Brother,
Hawks-
Atlanta's not happening. Atlanta's not happening.
Like, so
Overtime
return
is
of
down
cold
here.
takes is
What?
crazy.
People vacation in Atlanta. The athletes love Atlanta.
Can I ask, why is Atlanta a hard no for y'all?
Yeah.
That's Donovan. I don't even know.
Yeah, Donovan's never been to Atlanta, have you?
Listen, I lived there very briefly when I was little. And
Really?
I've been back a couple times. But one, Atlanta, in terms of socioeconomics, one, it's it's not a great city. It's one of the in terms of pay gap and all that type of stuff, it's bad. It's
Oh, we're getting deep.
it's bad. It's bad there. The way that it's actually set up, it's fairly segregated. I don't think if we want to just do regular stuff in terms of just food and in terms of just food and culture, everybody who goes to Atlanta,
Right?
everybody comes back and is yo, Atlanta has just terrible customer service. I don't think I don't know if
Keith
anybody.
Lee vibes.
So
Yeah,
the Keith
yeah,
Lee
yeah,
tour,
all
like,
the
fuck
Keith
this
stuff, it
place.
just
Keith Lee
doesn't
fucked up the
do
city,
it.
dog.
because I really want to hear him. I really want to hear him out because this is just misconceptions of tourism.
We've never discussed Atlanta, by
I'm
the way.
having
This
a
is
No,
all
I
I
understand.
got.
I can understand that, but I do want to hear this out.
Yeah, and so so that and just the general vibes that I get from Atlanta is I don't think that it would be I don't think it would be worth us moving there in terms of one creators being out there or actual listen, if we are going to be on inside the NBA, then cool, having Shaq and Ernie in there is cool. We're not hanging out with them every day, so that isn't necessarily the biggest priority for us.
Hey, Donovan, chat's saying it's too black for you. That's what everyone's saying.
That's crazy.
Okay.
That nigga said, okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Listen to him break down Atlanta and thinking about our last 2 trips to Atlanta. I think he perfectly summarized what I actually felt about going to Atlanta. That was a bow on everything.
Damo is the biggest tap artist ever. He's never brought up socioeconomic things in the world. Listen,
I didn't even think about the pay gap,
You
but it
down
makes
there,
sense.
Damo was the socioeconomics is just off.
That's what I'm saying.
We went to the
even-
Piggly Wiggly, and I was like, "Yeah, this is systemically,
even-
this is not what it's supposed to be." Hey, that is true. When we went to Piggly Wiggly, I did say 100% fact. Hey, this is too niggish for me. I will say. I don't.
Okay, tell me
It's
on Atlanta.
half-
Tell me on Atlanta because even Mo was there for a while, and Mo was he was ready to get out, but I don't remember ever hearing from Mo shining reviews of Atlanta.
No,
I mean, he lives here, so go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was not born there, but I was raised there for 20 years of my life. And so I like Atlanta personally. I'm from there. I'm comfortable around people who look like me, of course. And so I'm just
Well, okay, listen, you can't say that because you saying that pushes this other agenda.
I know.
I'm not trying to do that.
Donovan's half Honduran, by the way.
Okay, let's get it right. It's not Honduran. I'm Salvadorian.
My bad.
I'm not from El Salvador.
But no, yeah, Atlanta's cool for me. I know what I'm saying, industry wise, I think sometimes I probably underrated a little bit, but I've never want to go to bat for Atlanta. This is where everybody should be at, because even me myself, I felt what Donovan felt, which is why I never pushed it. I kind of want to go out a little bit and explore somewhere else, even though I think it's a cool location, but I'm just I'm so in the middle with it.
I could
Can I ask
understand. I could understand why Mojo wouldn't push it for the same reasons why you wouldn't push, being from where you're from and to advocate like, yo, let's come here. I've lived here my whole life. I would want to move out, et cetera, et cetera. That's perfectly fine. The socioeconomic gap, I get it. There, the disparity between, specifically in like Fulton County, the wages from like essentially whites and blacks is very, very high. That's irrelevant to you. You make a lot of money. Let's you know what I'm saying? You make a lot. Like that's irrelevant to you. Also, you wouldn't
in the air.
you wouldn't live in Fulton County anyway. Like you would not live in downtown Atlanta. Nobody would tell you to live in downtown Atlanta. Just like nobody would tell you to live in downtown. Like if you move to Boston, I'm pretty sure nobody would tell you, hey, move smack downtown in Boston. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, if that's what you want to do, though.
I was like, how you know what him and his woman talked about? Maybe they want to be right in the bitty for real, man. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't tell no. Would you want to be downtown Boston, for real?
Next to the TD Garden.
No, that's up north, isn't it? I think it's,
I don't know shit.
But
Is it North Station?
I think the neighborhoods that we saw. I mean, we were so whenever we went, our hotel was in downtown, and it was like right there. And I mean, like the Boston Commons were cool. Newbury Street wasn't that far away from it, like Back Bay and all those like even like that wasn't that far. Fenway was kind of cool, but like that's what more like west of the city. Like there's places even around like downtown Boston where it's like, hey yo, what's going on?
I seen that. Yeah, keep
going. So like, but there's places around downtown Boston that like wouldn't be bad, but like even I don't know. I understand what you're saying in terms of like it wouldn't be like adjacent to us, but I'm just saying like if you are, I do think that there gets a point in every city where when you have stuff like that, it starts like you can like feel it, like it starts like infiltrating kind of just like the city's culture and stuff like that. So I like moving to that and knowing kind of just like the overall vibe of Atlanta. I do think it would contribute a little bit to like how I would feel being there.
And again, there's no way to me that you can say that. And New York is on the table. I mean, I understand that it has the headquarters, so that's fine. Yeah. But New York, super over gentrified. New York is on the table, 100%. And then Los Angeles is in the same. Yes.
It what? No. I'm saying like New York like was on the table and like it like
not on the table.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So it's not okay. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. But what I'm essentially saying is that no matter what major city, like, and realistically speaking, it's segregated, and it's this big gentrified movement going through all the cities. The thing that I would say about Atlanta, though, is that specifically for the downtown area, living here, I don't necessarily feel that, not just because I live here and I'm trying to advocate for here. Nah, downtown is mad black. Downtown is super black. Like the culture still permeates. People are still hanging on to things. That's just like clear as day. What was the other thing? Is it what's the prices looking like in the places? Like if we were to move down there and we would stay, you would get more bang for your buck. The concept of like finding another studio space. That's why AMP moved down here. That's why I can say it though. Click and Dom 2K we're talking about moving down here. I can say it. That's out there. It really doesn't matter to me. But that's why I know. I know. That's why rappers move down here. That's why athletes move down here. No matter what, like it's gonna be cheaper unless you go to Texas. Texas would have a great argument, but you're talking about moving up north and LA. Like you would get more bang for your buck here if having a big yard, big house, all that stuff.
And that's why I don't want to go to LA.
It would. The answer would still be Atlanta. International, biggest airport in the U.S. is here.
I've heard nothing but bad things about the Atlanta airport. I've heard it's actually like a mess to get through.
But those are people who come from small airports. So if I came from an airport like the one in Austin, where when you enter the door, you can see the airplanes through the other side. Once you enter the door, I would obviously say, oh my gosh, this airport is so scary and it's big. But that's a silly thing to say. There are clear signs. We just talked about Americans can't read in this country. There are clear big signs. All you have to do is have the ability to read and navigate it. It's scary. I would think a lot of people who are tourists to any city is scary. If I was coming from, we're all from major cities or whatever, but if I was coming from Wisconsin or whatever, I would think New York is scary as hell. New York is scary as fuck. If you don't know what you're doing, isn't New York scary? Be honest.
Bro. Oh yeah.
No,
for sure.
Damo, you're from New York.
No, I'm not from New York. I'm not from New York.
You lived in New York.
I am from a small ass town in North Carolina, an hour outside of Charlotte. I'm not from the big city. I'm Salisbury, North Carolina. Okay. I'm not from a big city.
But if you were tasked,
there's a ton of big city hysteria for sure.
That's what I'm saying. If you were living in Salisbury for 26 years of your life, and then all of a sudden you were supposed to move to New York City by yourself, you wouldn't know what the fuck to do. You would figure it out, but you wouldn't know what to do.
For like 2 days.
Big snap map, man. They know.
Yeah, I'm about to say, chat gave you a live. Open up the snap map.
We're not that dumb. Damn.
Open up the
You
map.
know what a Walmart is.
It's walkable. If you live that lifestyle, you be better than
you be better. I don't want to drill this in because
I know where you're going with this. That's all
I understand.
We told you this is how it starts, man. This is how it starts.
Ultimately, there are pros and cons of all the cities. I think the clear punts on like a New York or LA, and we've had those conversations as well. It costs way too much. Like cost is it's astronomical, and that could be whether you're poor or you're rich. At least in a city like Atlanta, if you got some money, it can still feel like you got some money. In LA, you gotta have some. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why like AMP didn't move to LA. It's a reason why they didn't move to New York, and 2 of their members are from New York. They moved to a whole different city.
Y'all got further.
I love how we went down like a 20-minute tirade about Atlanta. We've never once talked about Atlanta. We've never even
exactly.
We talk about segregation.
I want to say the customer service thing. I do want to get to the customer service thing, and then we'll move on to some basketball. We'll get into some.
He's in his bag now, y'all.
I like the hoop shit, but the customer service thing. I mean, that's major cities too. And if you go to tourist places that are packed and shit, I mean, as you said, it's not.
It's not.
Oh, okay. I mean,
that's not that's.
If you come down here, if you come to Houston, and like I was talking to Isaac and I were having this conversation. Listen, I honestly think like I want to leave Houston. I want to leave Texas. Houston is actually a fantastic city, and in terms of like food and customer service, it's one of the best in the country.
You know what's crazy? I see you say that, and my outside from Atlanta tourist perspective would raise you Turkey Leg Hut, because I hear Turkey Leg Hut is fucking atrocious.
Nah, it is. Turkey Leg Hut is crazy.
That's what I'm saying, though. But that's what I'm saying.
Can't you find a bad spot for everywhere? Though?
There you go, Damo.
You can find a bad spot. No. What I'm saying is, any spot
per capita.
You can find a bad spot anywhere. But Atlanta is known for its bad spots. That's the difference. Everywhere's a bad spot in Atlanta. Apparently, like
nigga said apparently been to Atlanta twice, never had a bad experience, and we went to all the restaurants that Keith Lee went to. Stop it.
Let's not say we had bad experiences.
Let's talk ball, man.
Let's not lie about experiences, because I've had both. I had a couple scary experiences being in Atlanta to these goddamn Bando wings. You weren't with us when we went to Bando. You was not with us when we went to Bando, and I'm looking around like, yo,
I did go with y'all when we went to Bando.
I mean, that was kind of the aesthetic.
No, we did not. You went to Bando by yourself.
No, not the second time.
I let us see it. This is my bad. Let's talk ball, man.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is, and I ain't gonna drag this no further, but all I'm gonna say is the motherfucker that is in the suburbs will take the drive to DC. If there's one thing that I will give the Atlantean salesman, I ain't gonna lie. And maybe it's just maybe it's just a matter of how niggified the area is. But them DC restaurants, go ahead, put them in number 2 then, because goddamn, it's this con men out there, bro. It's hell, bro. So I don't know.
It's everywhere.
Real quick before you move on stage,
I've been in LA since April. What was that?
Oh, no, I was about to say, Sage, did we not have to leave a restaurant early because of the unsafetyness we felt in that restaurant? Yes or no, Sage?
I mean, that's yes, but like we was asking for it. That's all I was saying. Niggas was asking for it.
What happened? What unsafetyness?
Okay, so like we're in the heart of the hood. We're in the heart of the hood, and at first it's just us 4, right? Then it's like, a couple of subscribers pull up, and now it's like a good 10. Then it turned into like a good 20. Mind you, cameras out the whole time. So then I ain't gonna lie. I knew it was over when what was Caleb? Caleb pulls up. Yo, what's good, everybody? I've never seen a whole restaurant go like this. Mind you, everybody's on the wall. They all went just staring at niggas. I'm like, yeah, it's time. I'm not gonna lie, we're in the heart of the hood. They're gonna ask who the fuck we are and where we're from. And some
our
people are not
security
built
felt
like
unsafe.
that.
Our security felt
our
unsafe.
security felt
He was
unsafe.
like, yeah, we got.
I ain't gonna lie, I
wrap it up.
felt unsafe. I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Some niggas are gonna literally answer that straight up and go home hurt. Let's not do this. Let's get out of here. Yeah, no.